All right. So welcome to British Day, Factoring Day 2. All right, we're not going to change any of the steps, but just some of us have to get some review because right now we're about 50%. 3 of you, almost nearly perfect assignments. 3 of us, still a little lost, and that's okay. Let's just get better today. Let's get better today. So I would advise if you're watching, okay, have your steps ready to look at 1 through 5 of British method. And the second thing, if you just want to take these notes right in your notebook, that'd be great. Okay? So, without any further ado, what do we need to make sure before we even start British method?
Sure it's in standard form.
Is it in standard form, you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. But we also have to make sure we factor our factoring steps. What's our first factoring step?
Greatest common factor.
Is there a greatest common factor in this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we should divide everything by 2, put that 2 in front, and what are we left with?
X squared minus 4x plus 3.
Great job. Great job. What's our second step of factoring?
Difference of squares.
Is this difference of squares?
No.
No, because how many terms is difference of squares?
2.
Yeah, it's not difference of squares. Okay, so we're done with the first 2 steps of factoring. Is this a perfect trinomial?
No.
Why not?
Because the 3 isn't a perfect square.
Yeah, okay, we can't take the square root of 3. We can take the square root of x squared, but it's not a perfect trinomial. So then what's our fourth one?
Factor by grouping.
Is that a group?
No.
No, what's a group?
When there's 2 sets of terms.
When there's 4 terms. When there's 4 terms or more. Is there 4 terms up there
No.
in our polynomial? No, okay, so this is our factor by grouping. So our last step, which we started yesterday, was
British method.
British method, okay? And my goal is that everyone understands before we start our assignment today. So, British method. All right, so let's go through that. We now have standard form. We went through our factoring steps. Great job. What's our next step then, Hunter? Very good. Can you just help us out? What is our A, B, and C values?
1, -4.
Hunter,
Oh.
thank you. Okay, so what is A times C going to be then, Hunter? A times C. What's A times C going to be?
2.
Hey, can someone help them out?
3.
3. We got 1 times 3. That's 3. Okay. Now, what is the next step we do then, Dylan? And you can read it right off your steps if you'd like. Your British factoring steps. What's our next step?
Wait, which one did you want, Christine?
We listed AC.
Oh.
Factors, okay? Good news about 3. What are the only 2 factors for 3?
1 and 3.
1 and 3. That was tough. Okay? Now, is there a way that we can make 1 and 3 add up to -4, Joe? Yeah. How can we do that? How can we make 1 and 3 add up to a -4? Negative and negative.
Yeah.
So then our next step, okay, this is really important, and this is where some people went crazy, okay? We insert our values, okay, for our middle term. So we keep everything the same, but now we plug in -1x, -4x, and +3. Does anyone have questions up to this point?
-3. Yes, not -4x.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I wasn't trying to confuse you. Thanks for the correction. Any questions up to this point? Nada. Okay? Then, what do we always want to do if this term is a minus sign? What should we do with essentially both of these?
Add the inverse?
Yeah, add the inverse, okay? And then we want to draw our grouping symbols, right? Our grouping symbols are around the first set, and our grouping symbols around the second set. Everyone still with me?
Yeah.
Okay, then Joe, what can we pull out of this first set? And we should probably put a bracket around this, sorry.
X.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so we're going to have 2. We're going to pull out an x. What are we left with on the inside, you guys?
X plus y.
Plus
Negative 1.
a negative 1, thank you. Okay. Now, how are we going to make this be x plus a negative 1? Whoops. What do we have to factor out of this one to get x plus a negative 1 if this is a negative 3x?
3.
Not just 3.
Negative 3.
It has to be a negative 3. Has to be a negative 3 because negative 3 divided by negative 3 is x. 3 divided by negative 3 will be that negative 1. Any questions up to this point? Nada? Okay. So then check this out. Our last step then is this. Do you see what's in common with both of these?
Yeah.
What do we got?
X minus 1.
X minus 1. Great job. What are we left over with?
X 2 minus 3. Yeah.
Could we just put x minus 3?
Wait. Yes.
Yeah. Could you put plus a minus 3? Plus a negative 3? Yeah, that's fine. But there we go. British method. British method. Okay? Questions? Okay, this next one you get crackers. Okay? I'm going to let you guys go through it since some of you guys are like falling asleep on me. Okay? So, here we go. On this one, please do greatest common factor. That's my hint to you on this one first. Okay? It says 4x squared minus 14x plus 10. 4x squared minus 14x plus 10. You can do it. Here we go. Just go through those British method steps. So right here, if we did what we did on the board, you're going to want to keep that there, and then like you have that negative 3 there. But if you pull out a negative 3, that's going to be a minus 1. And then right there, you put this here, so that's great. And then this is good. Make sure we put the 2 in front. And then this is actually going to be not 3. But do you see how this is what's left over? X minus 3. That's what we want to put in the second group side. X minus 3.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And then the first thing we actually want to do, our first step of factoring is greatest common factor. What's in common with all of these, Joe? 2. Yeah, we want to factor out 2 first.
You check one. Yeah, this is one.
And we're going to go through it real quick, okay? And if you get it right, perfect. Okay? So let's check this out, you guys. As I walked around, some of you guys were so anxious to get started, okay? We kind of forgot to factor out a 2. Whoops. So let's make sure we just remember to do that. We put that 2 in front, and we're left with 2x squared minus 7x plus what?
5.
Thank you, okay? Then our next step is to do a times what?
C.
Yeah, I always like doing it on the side. What is a times c in this case?
10.
10, okay? And before we start doing that, okay, what's our a value?
2.
2. Our b value is
Negative 7.
-7, and our c value is 5. Very good. Do we have any questions up to this point? next, for our AC value being 10, we just have to list multiples. Well, you should get pretty excited because this is a small number. We have 1 and 10 and 2 and 5. Now, how can we make the 2 and the 5 add up to a negative 7?
Minus both negative 6 and plus.
Yeah, great job. And so we should have 2x squared, make both of those negative, minus 2x minus
5x
5x
plus 5.
plus 5. Did I lose anyone yet?
No, you have to do it.
Okay, and if you didn't get some of this down, feel free to write it down up to like whatever you need. Okay? Then, okay, what do we always want to do with this middle one?
Inverse.
Add the inverse, because then after that, that's going to make our job easy to,
Do parentheses.
yeah, factor by grouping. Okay? Make sure we keep the 2 in front. Okay? What comes out of this first group?
2x.
Yeah, and so I always like putting the 2, and then if you need 2 sets of parentheses, that's okay. 2x. What's 2x squared divided by 2x?
X minus 1.
X, and we're going to get minus 1. Very good. Now, we want our second group set to also be x minus 1, don't we?
Negative 5.
So then we just have to factor out a negative 5. Questions up to this point? Okay. I would like you guys to get this down, though. Everyone should get this down. And then, what can we factor out in front?
X minus 1.
Yeah, from that group set and this group set, we can have x minus 1, and then what are we left over with?
2x minus 1.
Yeah, we have 2x and minus 5. If you had this ready to go, or you were on your right way, you were right, and you got up to this step, okay, and you just didn't have enough time, I'll let you guys grab some. But before you do, does anyone have questions on this, on how we're getting this? No questions? Okay, you can grab some crumpets or a Boon Beazled, okay? And hopefully more people get,
How many can we take?
you can take 2 crackers right now, yeah. I just want to make sure that there's enough for the other class.
Are they sweet?
Yeah. No questions? Okay, here we go. Let's try this one out then. Okay, let's try this one out. Now, I am wondering, I need your feedback. Would you rather attempt on yourself and get a head start and then go over it as a class, or do you just want to go over it as a class?
I like attempting it myself.
Okay, I need everyone's feedback. I got 2 people's.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Gentlemen, you just want to attempt it?
Or encore.
What is it?
Bubblegum.
Try the white and yellow.
That's
Has like
nasty
little, has like
either
little
way.
specks.
Butter popcorn, no, it's gross.
It's gross either way.
Yeah. Okay, good try though. Can we factor anything out of all of these right away?
No.
No, so we know we should be able to skip all the way to what first? Yeah, British method, perfect. Perfect. I'll turn on some music, okay? If you get stuck, please raise your hands. I don't want anyone getting stuck, but I love how hard you guys are working, so keep that up. No, it's not. Where's your last one? Did you write down the last one? Okay, can you remember any others? Otherwise, might as well just sit here and use the paper and just go back to the You're going more from him than you want from me. Hey, great start so far. I like this. And then 1, 2 will add up to a negative 13. You want it to add up to this. Yeah, we always want it to add up to this. So what 2 are going to add up to 13? I think 2, but these 2, they have to be factored into there. 2, really close. Here we go. Go for it.
Wait.
The two factors you have, A times C. Does that make sense? Yep. Very good. Great job, Joe. Great job. I would just say let's keep symbols. Do you know what symbol has to go here? Symbol. Because how do we? This one's a negative and this is a positive. Okay, so our symbols. You're so close. Okay, you're so close. Okay, we're gonna go over how we're so close. Now, let's go through it. Okay, we'll see if someone can get Boo and Beazled. Okay, this time. I like that you guys all, I walked around and you saw AC. AC equals 12. Very good, okay? And then we want factors of 12 that add up to what number?
13. Negative 13.
Negative 13. And you not negative 1, negative 12. So then we have 2x squared minus 1x minus 12x plus 6. Is it okay if you have these flopped around?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Now, we just want to make sure, what is our middle term? What do we always want this middle term? Add the
Inverse.
inverse. Any questions up to this step? A lot of us made it up to here.
Because I get it right without that. Adding the inverse.
Well, as long as you know that the minus sign, this is the only term that's negative. Because then, watch this. What can we factor out of this group set?
1x.
1x, very good. And we're left with 2x minus
1.
1. What do we have to factor out of this?
Negative 6.
Negative 6. Very good, okay? Because a negative divided by a negative is a
Positive.
positive 2x, and a positive divided by a negative is...
Negative 1.
So, hey, we're very close to getting everyone there, okay? Now, check this out. We can bring this out in front, and what are we left with?
X minus 6.
Yeah, very good. If you put plus a negative 6, would I be okay with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why is it x minus 6? Would you...
So do you agree that this is what both of them have in common and we bring that in front? And then I'm going to underline with green what's left over. You see how we couldn't take that one out of our first group? Do you see that? Do you see how this is what's left in our second group? Plus a negative 6? So you could put plus a negative 6 here left, but I just like simplifying it to minus 6. Is that cool? Okay. That's a great question. Do we have other questions?
No.
Okay.
Can we have another crumpet?
If you guys got this right, you can have some more crumpets, okay? And just for the sake of time, okay? I would love to do these, okay? But I want to give you guys some practice time. So this is what I would like. Oh, you could actually do it in your book. Do you guys want to go? Do you want to go to your book, or do you want to go back to your online?
Online.
Raise your hand for book. Raise your hand for online.
Online, you don't have to carry as much stuff.
Okay, we got a book. You can take a picture. Okay? If you guys can go to this, please. Okay? We have 10 questions. This is in your book. In your book. Okay? Page 614. 24 to 44 evens. All right? And for those gone, I will take a picture of that and send it to you. So, thank you.